Hello everybody and welcome back to Slayer Gaming. Today we have another look at Torn pre-alpha. We're looking today at update number 4. As you can see, it looks very different already. We're in a hangar. We now finally have a hangar, which is awesome. Let's take a look into the update. So as you can see, I've got my name up in the top and I've got my ID, so you can add me if you want and we can play some matches. We have a settings cog. What we can do is we can go into it and we can change the video resolution, which is basic, but obviously I'm going to be using my max graphics. There's a max screen resolution to get max graphics, I do apologise. We also have our audio slider. When it's at 100% it is very loud. Some of the weapons have got very loud sounds naturally. I tend to drop that down, especially if I'm in a chat with some of my fellow squad mates. Around 30% I found is the best. We can change the mouse sensitivity as well, which is a bonus. And as you can see at the bottom, we can add and invite friends to the squad. When we have players online, they'll pop up here and you can invite them. What we want to do is we want to make sure we select the faction that we want before going into the match. So most of the time I'm using Imperials, but if you want to use Hermit, Bastion, you'll need to make sure that's selected. And then ready up. If you now go take a look at the hangar deck, what we now have is we can switch between the three different factions, and we can select our robots. And when we select on the robot we want to change, it gives a really nice animation, and we can zoom in and switch the character to whatever one we want. So now what we can do is you can now run 5 of the same mech. I wouldn't suggest doing it unless you're playing as the Imperials, because for me the Imperials have one specific bot that's really powerful, and that's the Invisible. With this current setup, stay tuned, will be a video coming soon on this build. But what you can see is we are able to select different mechs and change weapons. We now have our weapon system, so we have a heavy slot, a medium slot and light slots. This faction is probably the worst one to choose because they only have heavy and medium, being the tanks. So we've got to take a look at the Imperials because they have a mix of all 3. We currently only have 2 heavy weapons, which is the shotgun and the explosive sniper rifle. We have 3 medium weapons. This is specifically for the Imperials. We have assault rifle, homing launcher and autocannon, and we only have 1 light weapon. Similarly, in the Hermits, we currently only have 1 light weapon, we have 4 medium weapons, and we don't have any heavy weapons currently. For Bastions, they only have heavy and medium, so for medium they have 4 different weapons, and 2 heavy, the heavy chain gun and the flak cannon. Let's take a look at some more changes in this new update. A new major change in update number 4 for Torn is the boss and the area that it's within. As you can see, the boss has had a redesign and the area around it is much more open with cover. As you can see, it interacts with the map shown by this clip. You're able to walk through it, which means you don't have to walk around the main building in the centre to get to the other side. I think it will create some interesting plays in matches. You're able to flank enemies much more easier, and I think it will be very cool. As you can see, I'm fighting the boss in this clip. It's got a big laser weapon. It also has a couple of other ways of attacking players. It fires some missiles and some machine guns. When it dies, it sort of kind of breaks apart and then blows up, which I think is pretty cool. You meet me back in the hangar, where the most attentive of you will have noticed there is now sound in game. It's arguably one of the most biggest changes in update 4. I am personally a big fan of the sound. I think it sounds amazing. I haven't found one of the sounds for any of the weapons nor the mechs that I think sounds bad. I think they're all accurate and I enjoy playing the game with the sound now in game. Let's jump into some action clips where I'll show you each of the different factions, and then I'll meet you back in the hangar to conclude on what I think of the new update. hope you enjoyed the action clips. As you can see, the game is very good, even though it's even in pre-alpha. I find myself with the Hermits only using the Orcums. I find the other weapons a little bit too weak. With the Hermits, I find the Swarm's weapons don't always fire straight and at the target, so sometimes they fire away from the target, which isn't the best. I find that for the Imperials, Invisible Shot doesn't always fire for his ability. I also think that the ability is a little bit too powerful. I'd rather have them deal a little bit less damage. I think that his ability needs reworking. I would make it so that he can't cap beacons when it is on it and is invisible. But I would make it so that he doesn't take any damage whatsoever, even dot damage from the Hermits. Sometimes Spitfire shot in the Bastions. Sometimes Spitfire shot doesn't fire, and it's because I haven't locked onto a target, but I hit the button and then it puts my weapon into reload, which isn't very good. I would like to be able to fire out pretty where the enemies are coming to block off an area, but if I haven't targeted an enemy, it won't fire and will put my ability into reload. Other than that, the game is good and I look forward to the next update. Stay tuned because I'm going to be bringing out more videos on each of the factions, and I will be releasing a video on one powerful build that seems to stand out to me just a little bit more. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time.